Hello, everyone, and welcome to Royal Butterfly 994, where we explore the history, the headlines, and the human stories behind the modern royal family. Hi, everyone. This is Donna, so let's get started because today we're diving into a fascinating comparison between two royal books that offer very different perspectives on the same family and the same institution. One is the memoir Spare by Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex. The other is the biography of the Prince of Wales by Jonathan Dimbleby, a detailed portrait of King Charles written when he was still the Prince of Wales. Now, I'm hoping I pronounced Jonathan's last name correctly, but I'm going to spell it out. It's Dimbleby. Now, let's get back to it. Both books explore life inside the British royal family, but they do so from completely different viewpoints. One is deeply personal and written by someone born into the royal system. The other is written by a respected journalist who had rare access to the heir to the throne. So today we're going to compare these two books, what they reveal, where they differ, and what they might help us understand about royal life, family expectations, and the pressures of the monarchy. Now, usually when I do a book review, I'll have a lot of different images. I'm going to try to do that today, but I may just have a couple, 3, 4 images. So I might not have a lot of images as I usually have. Now, first, let's briefly talk about the books themselves. Now, Spare is written by Prince Harry. It's a memoir that tells his story in his own words. The title itself refers to the old royal phrase, the heir and the spare, meaning the first son inherits the throne and the second son is the backup. In the book, Harry reflects on his childhood, his military service, his relationships, and his struggles with life inside the royal institution. Now, on the other hand, The Prince of Wales by Jonathan Dimbleby is a biography that focuses on the life and role of Charles when he was the heir to the British throne. Okay, excuse me for that little noise there. Let's continue. We're not going to let anything stop us. Dimbleby had significant access to Charles while writing the book, which allowed him to explore Charles's views, responsibilities, and personal challenges as the future king. So immediately we see an interesting contrast. One book is a first-person memoir. The other is a journalistic biography with royal access. Both aim to tell a story about the monarchy, but they approach the story in a very different way. In Spare, Prince Harry shares his personal experiences growing up in one of the most famous families in the world. He reflects on the loss of his mother, Diana, Princess of Wales, an event that shaped much of his early life. He describes how the public and media attention surrounding the royal family affected him and how difficult it could be to grow up under constant scrutiny. The memoir also explores the ideal of identity. Prince Harry returns to the concept of being the spare, someone who is close to the center of the monarchy but not destined to inherit the crown. Throughout the book, Harry speaks about his military service, his personal relationships, and the emotional challenges he faced as he navigated royal life. The tone of the book is very personal. At times he feels reflective, and at other moments it feels like Harry is trying to explain how his experiences shaped the decisions he made. For readers, Spare offers a rare look into how one member of the royal family experienced the institution from the inside. What the Prince of Wales book reveals, as we turn to his book, is the difference is Jonathan Dimbleby's book focuses on Charles during the decades when he was longest serving heir to the British throne. The book explores Charles' preparation for kingship, the expectations placed upon him, and the challenges of being heir to an ancient institution while living in a modern world. Now, Dimbleby writes about Charles' interest in environmental issues, architectural and charitable work, and these are topics that have been central to Charles' public life for many years. The book also discusses the pressure of royal duty and the role of the monarchy in contemporary Britain. Unlike Spare, which is centered on personal reflection, the biography, The Prince of Wales, takes a broader historical and institutional view. It explains Charles not only as a father and member of the royal family, but also as a constitutional figure preparing to become king. Now, even though these books are very different, they do share common things. One major thing is the pressure of royal life. Both books describe the enormous expectations that come with being part of the royal family, from public appearances to media attention. The responsibilities of monarchy can shape nearly every aspect of daily life. Another thing is public perception. Members of the royal family are constantly portrayed in the media, and both books explore how those portrayals can differ from personal reality. Both narratives also touch on the challenge of balancing personal identity with public duty. For Charles, that meant preparing for a role that had been defined for centuries. For Harry, it meant trying to find his own place within a system that already had a clearly defined hierarchy. So in some ways, both books describe people trying to navigate a very unique and demanding institution. However, the differences between these books are just as important as their similarities. The most obvious difference is perspective. Spare is written by someone who grew up inside the royal family and is sharing his own personal memories and emotions. The Prince of Wales biography is written by a journalist analyzing the life and responsibilities of the heir to the throne. Another difference is tone. Spare often reads like a personal reflection, sometimes emotional, sometimes introspective. The Prince of Wales biography is more analytical and historical. It looks at the monarchy as an institution and places Charles' life within a broader historical context. There is also a difference in focus. Harry's memoir focuses largely on personal experiences and relationships. Dimbleby's biography focuses more on the role of the monarchy, the responsibilities of leadership, and the long preparation required to become king. Now, these differences don't necessarily mean that one book contradicts the other. Instead, they show how two people can experience the same institution in very different ways. Now, when we read these books side by side, something interesting happens. We begin to see how complex life inside the royal family can be. The monarchy is both a family and an institution. It involves personal relationships, but it also involves centuries of tradition and public expectation. Now, Harry's memoir reminds us that behind the titles and the ceremonies are individuals dealing with personal emotions and experiences. Dimbleby's biography reminds us that the monarchy also represents continuity, duty, and national symbolism. Looking at both perspectives together can help readers understand the balance between these two realities. So, what did I take away from comparing Spare and the Prince of Wales? Well, each book tells a story about the same royal world, but from different angles. One focuses on the personal journey as a younger son, navigating life within the monarchy. The other focuses on the long path of an heir preparing to become king. Now, when I read and start to discuss both books, I do gain a broader picture of how the royal family operates, not only as a historical institution, but also as a group of individuals with very different roles and experiences. And perhaps the most important lesson that I brought away from this is that history is often shaped by multiple perspectives. The more perspectives we explore, the more complete our understanding becomes. For me, I thought, because as I stand here, because Dimbleby's book was written in the 90s, he was working on this book as Charles and Diana were getting divorced. I thought the book was PR, but that's hindsight, because at the time, all of us, you didn't see it as PR, but now as I look back at the book, I think it was PR. That's what the royal family does. And yes, I think that Prince Charles is prepared to be king. I think as far as the world stage is today, my personal opinion is that William is not as ready for this world as a monarch as Charles is. I think that Charles can deal with someone like some of the people we have running the world today. I don't think William is ready. Whose fault is that? I think it's Charles's fault that William isn't ready. Okay? I think that Prince Harry told us and revealed to us, I really thought he was being taken care of. I had no idea he was suffering the way he was suffering. I had no idea that he was being disrespected the way he was being disrespected. I thought the royal family had learned a lesson after Princess Diana died. They have not. They're still the same madness. And we're learning more and more. And I think that as we go along, more things are going to be said. More truth. Okay? So, I just want to thank you guys for joining me today on Royal Butterfly 994 for this royal book comparison. And if you enjoy thoughtful discussions about royal history, royal biographies, and the stories behind the British monarchy, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with royal watchers like yourselves. Share it with people in the Sussex squad. Please tell people about my channel. And I just also too, if you like, buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Royal Buttee, Buttee. And remember, every royal biography tells a story, but comparing the stories is where the real insight begins. So until next time, this is Donna with Royal Butterfly 994. Thank you for watching Royal Butterfly 994, where wings take flight.